derivative Jill.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. And hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch and Infinite Combinations number 208. And we're exploring all of the Twilight Zone. Today we're taking a closer look at the 13th episode of season 4 called The New Exhibit. And it was first aired on April 4th, 1963. And this one's a Halloweeny one, I would say. This time, this one is pretty good. And it was written by Jerry Soule, although Charles Beaumont got the credit, and we're going to talk about that. With the story by credit also given to Rod Serling for some reason, and it was directed by John Bram. Well, that's and we're going to talk a little more about how the story came to be in just a bit. But first, I got to say hello to my panel. Thank you for being here, Scotty R37.
I'm just a huge Martin Balsam fan.
Yeah. Apparently he's a science fiction legend, and I didn't know he voiced what he voiced. And hello to Lawrence. How are you doing today? From the Wayfarer Project. Good. Oh no, Gavin said I warned you.
He did.
He warned you. He said there may be robots. Well, there's something, but they're not robots.
Well, they're kind of waxy, but you know what? There's an age where you just gotta pull yourself away from the dolls, you know?
Yeah, action. They're called action figures, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that I think a large part of Jill's audience are Hot Toys fans. So don't go knocking the dolls.
Well, these dolls are wax. You can't even move them. You can't.
Right.
Have you ever seen Small Soldiers?
They don't have opposable hands.
Have you ever seen what?
Small Soldiers, where they have it's like Toy Story but murderous.
Oh no, I've never seen that.
Oh my God, we got to do that for all the Hot Toys fans.
Hello to Kevin, Theme Park Adventures. How are you? And also Gavin, of course. I hope this episode has the Staff of Truth. The one barrier.
They all have the Staff of Truth.
Every episode. Yeah, every episode has the Staff of Truth just because you ask for it. And I can totally find that at some point, which won't take an incredibly long time, in which I just waffle until I find it.
Waffle.
But if he's the devil, how do you keep him locked up?
With the Staff of Truth, the one barrier he cannot pass.
And there is evil in a lot of Twilight Zone episodes, so it's actually relevant a lot of the time, and I would say it is very relevant in this episode.
Was it evil or just bad behavior?
Or just crazy?
Yeah, just plain crazy.
Well, and that's the funny thing about this episode is that, like, watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is so much like a night gallery. This was more of a night gallery than it was a Twilight Zone in my mind. I still love it. I still think it's great, and the ambiguity is there. But yeah.
Well, Twilight Zone can be supernaturally feeling sometimes, so it still falls under Twilight Zone for me. Hello to Tim. Hail.
Hey,
Hail
Tim.
to you.
Hey,
And
everyone.
Snortopoopas Cuber is being fed some fish this morning.
Oh my God.
Wow. Feeding the
Snortopoopas.
bear.
Single-handedly keeping the Filet-O-Fish in business.
Gavin Union says, meet the new exhibit. Same as the old exhibit.
Well, no, there was one new member. You didn't
there's
get
gonna
a
be an
new
addition.
exhibit until the end.
Could it have been prevented with therapy? Oh, Emma tries. He said, just go just once. Poor Emma. But anyway, we can talk about the episode now because, well, actually, we have to wait a little bit to talk about the episode. Okay.
No.
One thing I can
we
say
don't have
is
to wait. We're here
we
right
do
now.
a little bit. It was written by Jerry Soule, as I said, credited to Charles Beaumont, and so
Ghost written.
before we even get to the ghostwriting, we have to go all the way back to 1962. Joe Castor of Castor and Associates, Los Angeles, wrote to Rod Serling, who says, thanks, Rod, for your kind letter. And then, he goes on and on. He's just like, I have a wax museum, I'm paraphrasing, and I want it to be in the Twilight Zone. Can my wax museum be in your Twilight Zone? and it was called Movie Land Wax Museum. And there are 50, like they had a whole bunch of actors and everything in the museum. And Rod Serling says, I'm skipping a bit here. He says, he wants his museum to be in the background. Serling said that this might be a possibility if and when they continued shooting beyond the contracted 13-hour long episodes. There's also the constant risk of whether or not a proper storyline can be developed so that you get a valid drama without the obvious inclusion of a specific place for that place's sake. Inclusion of a specific place that for the sake of its okay, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
we want to create a good story. What Rod Serling is saying, we want to create a good story that it happens to include the place rather than stuffing a place in just to a story just because you have it available.
Well,
and
build
so
a story around it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and what was it with El Mariachi? Like Robert Rodriguez made a movie because he had a camera, a guitar, and a turtle.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. I love that movie. That movie is so much fun.
It is great.
All right. So, and then we get to the ghostwriting. He's the sole, Charles Beaumont is the sole writer that we see on the credit, but it's not true. It was actually ghostwritten by Jerry Soule. And he was, this person also wrote for Alfred Hitchcock's Presents. So we're going to talk a little bit about his history. He wrote a number of novels, including Costigan's Needle and Point Ultimate. And later he would write the novel The Lemon Eaters. But more interestingly to us, he wrote episodes of The Outer Limits, The Invisible Enemy, and Counterweight. And then he also wrote for The Invaders and Star Trek. So he wrote for Star Trek also. And I had the list of Star Trek episodes here. What happened? Here it is. He wrote Story by Credit for Whom Gods Destroy in season 3. And for season 1, he gets story by for This Side of Paradise, but you might not notice him because he's using the name Nathan Butler. And so, you largely think, DC Fontana wrote that episode, but there was a little more going on there. And then he wrote The Corbomite Maneuver also.
So legendary. legendary.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
clearly.
glad he got some credited writing jobs and not just ghost writing that you, at least at the time, until they let you out of it, you can't even use it on your resume. It's somebody else's writing, even though it was you.
Yeah, and then he doesn't get the proper pay for it either.
Mm-hmm.
But they did split it 50-50. So that's how that worked out. And so they did that behind the scenes under the table, very much against the rules.
That is, it's so ridiculous, like in terms of the business aspect of it. And I usually just focus on story and what is presented on the screen, but nothing has changed since the advent of filmed entertainment, in that there's always some shady, underhanded backroom dealings that end up happening with writers, whether that be the credit that they receive, credit that they don't deserve, actors that are not properly compensated due to changing business models, i.e. syndication. Like there's so much that, like, even directors who are like, they edited it wrong because of studio notes and now it's a POS and I want to be Alan Smithy. And they're like, if you're Alan Smithy, your career is effectively over, even though that is supposed to be the loophole that gets you out of jail. It's like the business aspect not only is not widely discussed, not accurately represented, but generally it is the evil victors who are the ones who take credit for the things that deserve to be attributed, for good or ill, to other people.
Yep.
Well, and we'll
That's
talk
my
about
thesis.
what's going on here.
Yeah, it
in just a
happens in
second.
music too, and then books and authors and stuff. Like people have fame, notoriety, and it's like, I'm gonna write my memoirs. You do it, and then and it's never credited to the other person,
Right.
and they're not even
Right.
allowed to say, they're not allowed to use a resume. Well, it's like, I needed the money, so I had to do it. It's a shame, because it's almost like saying, all right, just because of a contract, you can't rewrite reality. I mean, if you want to give someone ownership over something like that, fine. But you can't say this person wrote it when they didn't. And
Well,
I
they
don't know.
did.
I just don't know how it's just like, I guess it's for expedience. They're like, okay, just so we don't have to deal with all the legal wranglings, let's just say you wrote it because you had that person sign a contract. And it's like, but you didn't. I don't know. It's like,
So I want to thank Voidwalker 93 for sending me a unique chatter. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got 26 more to go in that case. And so yeah, let's get into the reason Charles Beaumont needed help writing episodes. Stone Racket has talked about this on numerous occasions, but finally Mark Scott Zicree is talking about it in his book, The Twilight Zone Companion. I have the 3rd edition, expanded and revised. Although I didn't check to see if this episode had any addendums, but I'll do that in a little bit. But no, he was not well. I mean, his friends knew he wasn't well. William F. Nolan, I'll paraphrase some of this because there's a lot in here, and you can get the book to get the full picture. But everybody saw he was working too hard. He was doing too many scripts. Here's a sentence. He'd have like 5 different scripts, a movie script he's supposed to be working on, and each one the producers thought Beaumont was working on exclusively. But meanwhile, he'd have O.C. Rich hold up in one part of the city writing a draft of one, and he'd have Jerry Soule hold up writing a draft of another. And John Tomerlin would be writing the draft of a third, and I'd be polishing a magazine article for him. He'd be trying to get the movie written. Ray Russell would be working on him on a Roger Corman project, and he'd just be running and running, making different appointments. And so And so you'd go, Chuck, Chuck, and you try to fit yourself into this wild schedule. And I said to myself, man, he's going to kill himself doing that. He was pushing himself too hard. Nobody
Yeah.
could survive that kind of pressure.
Yeah, too busy overseeing other people writing stuff for him to write anything himself.
Mhm. Oh, and there's Gavin on the Rumble side. Thank you for being over there. Scotty, Hot Toys. This is the family show. Okay.
How
Never
hot
mind
are your toys?
therapy.
I never got
Just
to-
a slap.
I never got my
What?
She-Hulk, so not that hot.
Aw,
Oh,
I know. I
episode has-
know.
Poor Scotty. Julie Evans says, hey, everybody. I really like this episode. This guy was so obsessed with those wax figures. I really liked it too, especially, yeah, because the lead, Martin, is so good playing Martin. And hello to Canadian Spider-Man. He's here too. And to continue the story about Charles, soon the pressure seemed to be taking its toll. By 1963, he was drinking an awful lot. Every lunch hour, he had to have 2 or 3 martinis. And
wow.
you'd call him at 10 a.m. and he'd already be slurring. So actually, though it wasn't necessarily that he was an alcoholic, he was covering up something else happening to him.
Oh, was that
What was
Balsam?
no Beaumont?
Oh, okay. I was going to
Yeah,
say.
Charles Beaumont.
I was like, he spoke pretty well on set.
Yeah, and John Tomerlin says, I was spending a great deal of time with Chuck at that time and was close enough to know that what he was drinking could not possibly account for the odd mental set he had taken. He had a distorted view of his relationships with people in business and personality, and by distorted I mean they were kind of just half notch off center. They were almost right, but not quite. He became extremely deliberate about his speech, and there would be pauses sometimes between syllables and words, and then at other times he would simply lose the thread of what he was saying and look at you rather bemusedly as though he was waiting for you to speak or waiting for you to. And it was kind of frightening because one realized that there was something wrong and it was impossible to tell what it was. And so all his friends had to see this happen. And as this was happening, he also appeared to age a lot because there's a photograph of him published in Playboy where he was 33, but he looks like he's 50.
Yeah.
And in 1963, he couldn't write in the last half of 1963, said William F. Nolan. He was drunk all the time, or so we thought. He would go out unshaven to meetings, and the meetings would be disastrous. He couldn't come up with ideas in front of producers, and you have to think on your feet and so forth. And so then he'd get his scripts rejected, I guess. And then while all this was going on, Beaumont's wife was desperately trying to understand what was happening and to treat it. And Beaumont's son, Chris, explains, because he was working very, very hard, we thought maybe it was just overwork. So we sent him to places where he could rest, hoping he'd come back the man we knew. When he didn't, it was very frustrating because we thought each time one of those therapies would work. It was a great disappointment every time he would come home from whatever it was and not only be no better, he would be worse. And so then, yeah. So finally, he went to UCLA for battery tests, and finally they found it was either Alzheimer's or Pick's disease. So it was dementia. So that's essentially what he had, a degenerative disease of the brain with a cause unknown because he's incredibly young. The symptoms included accelerated aging and a progressive loss of mental functions, including intellect, memory, and coordination. They sent him home saying there's no treatment for this disease. It's permanent and it's terminal. He'll probably live from 6 months to 3 years with it. He'll decline and he'll get where he can't stand up and he won't feel any pain. In fact, he won't even know this is happening. So that's it's just an unfortunate thing that happened to somebody so brilliant and who was able to create such great stories. Let's see, there's more here, and I won't read it all. But I guess the saddest one is that William F. Nolan, one night in '63, when John Tomerlin and I and Chuck went to Musso and Frank's in Hollywood, we were going to have dinner and go to a movie. And he put his hands in his head and he said, I can't go to the movies, guys. I just can't go to the movies. I can't think about them. I can't follow them. I can't stay there and watch all that. I don't know what's wrong with me. And he just started to cry and said, I love you guys, but I just can't go to any more movies with you. And going to the movies was one of the things that we all love to do. Oh, and it was a very sad night. And we dropped him off. And yeah, so they were that's really sad having to see your friend go like that. And so
it's such a terrifying disease. And
yeah, Charles Beaumont died February 22nd, 1967 at the age of 38. And when he died, said his son, he was physically 95 years old and looked 95.
Wow.
Yeah. I especially in your 30s, heavens.
And to look 95? Wow.
Well,
yeah, I didn't know it had the physical change on people too.
Have you seen Ariana Grande? Like, come on.
Not lately. No.
Oh, good. Don't. She has to run around in the shower to get wet.
Stuff.
But I'm just saying. I went to the doctor yesterday and I had to read People magazine. But it's something. It's that physical decline alongside the mental decline. And the mental decline isn't just like forgetting, it's misplacing, it's non-temporal, everything is disassociated. And so it's not just forgetting, it's being terrified of not knowing where you are, who people are, and what's going on. And even when even discussing it, like there have been people, it's like, oh, I'll make a note for myself and that'll explain. And it'll be like, you won't even recognize yourself in the mirror, let alone a lucid version of yourself saying something in either audio or video recording. But I feel very, very like that's a terrifying way to have your body fail. And then also when you first start confronting it, and self-medication has always been a thing. And it's like, if that's the way you're going to choose to do it, well, if I can't remember anything from the night before anyway, then I might as well not remember anything from the night before. And it's like, that's not going to help, man. That's not going to help.
No. Yeah, I think he was creating a fog to account for the fog, to maybe cover up for the fact that he was sick.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would be incredible. It's like, if everybody thinks I'm drunk, I might as well just be drunk.
Yeah, I guess so. But unfortunately, that's one of my biggest fears. Something happening brain-wise. It is scary.
Oh, there's all sorts of physical tortures that life brings you. I don't know what's better and what's worse.
Well, enjoying what we have as we have it is probably the best way to do it.
True. Hello, DJ Playnoise. Glad to see you here now. Hey. That's true. And enjoying every moment we do have is very good point. Because what made that story about him not being able to go to the movies so sad is that you knew that they went lots of times before.
Yeah.
Well,
I have stories, but I don't want to tell them right now.
Yeah, maybe we should try to cheer ourselves up a little bit here.
Yeah, let's talk about murderers.
Let's go to Murderers Row to be cheered up. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Julie Evans. My grandmother had dementia. It's not only hard for the person that has it to deal with, but their friends and loved ones as well. Yeah, and it hurts too, because you talk to the person and you try to talk to them as if they know you, but they don't really know you, and they look at you like you're a stranger, and it's absolutely devastating because this person loved you their whole life.
Well, and my grandmother passed away from Alzheimer's. And one of the last times that my dad saw my grandmother thought her son, being my father, was her husband. And so I can't imagine what kind of a mind fuck that would be for
Yeah,
my
it's a little
dad,
awkward.
let alone the confusion and scattered nature of the disease that was withering her away.
Mm. That's sad.
So that was my cheer up story.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is sad. Like Charles Beaumont gave us some really great stories, but so that's what we had to focus on, and Jerry Soule was there to help pick up the pieces for one of those stories, where in this case there's this one. And Jerry Soule agreed to help with this one, splitting the money 50-50. He wrote he wrote 5 Twilight Zone scripts. 3 of them were produced teleplays for Route 66, Naked City, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and articles for Playboy, all under Beaumont's name. So wow, like that is some dedication to somebody else's work. It was ridiculous of me to do this, said Soul, because he was just using me, and I was not getting any pension money. I was not getting any health monies, and it was perfectly dumb. On the other hand, I didn't have to deal with Bert Granite. I guess he's like the producer of the show. I didn't have to deal with Rod Serling. I didn't have to do anything but write. What more could you ask? He was the one who went in and fought the battles.
Yeah.
And Soul's script went before the cameras, unchanged and no rewrites. And yeah, essentially the main thing I think that Charles Beaumont came up with this episode is just the idea of having the wax figures be murderers, and John did the rest. One in particular, which we'll get up to, Albert, I forget his last name, the sailor with the axe.
Oh pirate. Yeah, I don't know. I only know, I know Burke and Hare. I know Jack the Ripper. I don't know Landrew. I just remember Landrew because that's his last name, because I am of the body. But the guy with the garrote. And then I forget the name of the guy with the axe. But yeah, I know
it's Albert something, but we'll get there. All right. I got it in my notes.
Super.
You want to cheer up? Stick a ferret in your pants and you're bound to smile. I don't know. Malfoy didn't seem too happy when he had a ferret in his pants.
You know, I'm going to take your word for it. I'll review it on Google and give it 5 stars.
Is that a ferret in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
No, it's a ferret.
Oh, no, wait. No. Malfoy didn't have a ferret in his pants. Malfoy was the ferret because Mad-Eye Moody, who wasn't really Mad-Eye Moody, turned Malfoy into a ferret. And if you don't know Harry Potter, everything I just said was complete nonsense. Sorry.
Even if you do know Harry Potter, everything you just said was complete nonsense.
The ferret in the pants is like a British tradition.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's a British prank? It's a classic British
tradition. It's like it's one of those things that
J.K. Rowling knew what she was doing.
It's a talent some people choose, you know? It's like the playing spoons that we have in the U.S. They have trouser ferreting. Right, Gavin?
Wow. It's like a sport?
I think
hey,
so.
nerd. Oh, I'm always happy to see Jill. Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
Me and Lawrence are just going to sit over here and bask in the glow of your admiration. So,
so also there's some music in this by Lynn Murray, and they were originally composed for the Gunsmoke episode Unloaded Gun.
The score in this is fantastic.
Yeah. So it's got some good music. I didn't know it wasn't made for the episode. That's why it's listed as stock music, because it's from different broadcasts. But that's cool. It's good. And now we can look at these pictures.
Hooray. Well, and it's funny because last week at the end of the I Dream of Jeannie, there was no, at least not on my DVD, there was no next week on the Twilight Zone. So I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going to happen. And then when I popped in the disc today, and I was like, Martin Balsam, and I was pleasantly surprised. And so this was great. And as soon as we went to Murderer's Row, I was like, oh, okay, something's going to happen. Obviously,
Yeah.
something's going to happen. But how are we going to get there? What are we going to do?
Well, we're at the Ferguson's Wax Museum, and so he doesn't. Okay, so everybody there's some ordinary history exhibits to show that the entire museum isn't a creep show. So, so you get Cleopatra, and and then we move on to Murderer's Row because that's where we need to be.
Yeah.
Is this
the whole wax museum thing was never caught on with me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It always just seemed why.
Well,
Seemed what?
think, like why?
Oh, why do this?
Well, I guess it
Because,
is a
well,
bit of an art form, I guess, for
Yeah.
someone who's talented, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like
And-
I live close to Niagara Falls. There's a Madame Tussauds wax
yeah.
museum, and it's
I think
just
I was
like
there.
and it's like meh, these kind of look like the people that I know. But then again, you go to other ones, like the main ones in London, I think is where it started, and you see them, and it's I think what was it? I saw something recently, and The Rock was at his wax figure, and he unlocked his own phone with the face of the wax figure and through facial recognition. So there are ones where it's like an uncanny resemblance, and then you go to other ones and they're not. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that kind of, it's like Biff, the figure of Biff Tannen from Back to the Future 2, and it's like, I guess. And so
yeah, I saw Captain Kirk as a wax figure in Los Angeles.
and they never
Yeah,
get the
that's
hair
fun.
right.
Well, certainly no one you can never get Kirk's hair right.
Yeah. Well, Kirk couldn't even get Kirk's hair right. So, but
Lawrence turned me into a ferret, but I got better, says Gavin.
Is
But-
that how you spell, like, I've heard of them. This Madame, I thought it was called Tussauds, but it looks like
Tussauds, but no, that's not right.
yeah,
it's Tussards.
no, it's Tussauds. Tussauds is like Tussauld. I think.
Okay.
Well, when I was at the museum, I was looking for Einstein, and they were like, "That's in London." Sorry, I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
It's only a
ship
mom.
them over.
yeah, I wanted to see him."
Now with the museum, is that the same set as the Robert Duvall episode? It looks like the same set.
This
as
is the
Robert-
real museum. That's all I know.
Yeah. Remember
okay.
that guy who wanted his
Yeah.
museum in a Twilight episode?
Oh yeah. Twilight Zone. A Twilight episode would be very different.
Well, yeah. He would have
Well-
waited a while for that.
All of a
So
sudden,
we're
there's
that
a
would be
wolf.
interesting to know. But I don't
It
know.
would be.
So the guests are warned before going into Murderer's Row that if you have sensitive hearts, just to watch out.
Oh, and they also warned him about the curator, Martin Sesescu.
Oh no, they don't. He doesn't warn him at all.
Oh.
In fact, Martin is he's tending to one of the exhibits, and then
Well-
he's still. And as
Well,
they
he's
walk up, he
announced.
moves.
His name was
No,
announced. when
Not
the-
right away.
Oh,
Um.
well, it was
Because
eventually.
Yes, he is announced after. He's only announced after he's still, and then he moves, and this lady screams. She's like, ah, and yeah, she's frightened. She says, "Oh, they look so real," and then Martin moves and
Oh.
and
Just for anyone
scares
who's
her.
wondering, the owner of the museum, Ferguson, was played by Will Kaluva. And I think he has an excellent voice.
Yeah. I was teetering back and forth. I never actually looked it up, and I was like, is that the Is that the guy who was like the president of the overpopulated planet in that episode of Star Trek where the Enterprise is empty and it was all just to give the lady a cold?
Well, I didn't find it here, but he was in another Twilight Zone episode. He played a deposed director in, what is it called? Yeah, the director was named De Cruz, and it was in season 3's The Mirror.
Hmm.
Oh.
So he was in another Twilight Zone episode, and then looks like he played in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and he played Mr. Allison,
Unfortunately, I don't see Star Trek here.
the head of U.N.C.L.E. Yeah, I don't see any Star Trek either.
Oh, Mr. Henderson. Okay.
Here's to
But-
you, Mr. Henderson.
The overpopulation episode is the Mark of Gideon, but that's not.
That
Yeah,
is
he
right.
wasn't
That's
in
the
it,
one I was
unfortunately.
thinking about. Okay.
The Missiles of October.
Yeah, everybody just standing right next to each other. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
So,
he was a guest star in The Untouchables, Perry Mason, Hawaii, 5-0, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Bonanza, of course, everybody, and Mission Impossible. And Quincy. He did Quincy. Sorry,
No,
yeah,
for what?
no, that's okay.
I
That's okay.
derailed you, Jill.
No, you're okay. You're okay. He's tending to the figures, and as soon as the group walks in, he takes over the tour, and the husband of the Sprighton lady says they're only a bunch of whacks, and Martin responds, "Perhaps not, young man, who knows what evil lurks in the heart of the man standing next to you."
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this entire this entire tour is foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So then this guy is named Albert Hicks. So this wax figure. Oh, and we can look here to see Albert Hicks is played by Bob Mitchell. There you
Yeah. Got to hold that arm up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's kind of, yeah, the stance can't be easy to hold either.
Well,
And
for the
Martin-
wide shots, absolutely, but it is kind of apparent in the production, and I'm not faulting it for it. But it does look like still imagery when they
Well,
do
they're
the
so
close-ups.
lifelike.
That's it. That's exactly how they did it, Scott. You figured it out. You're
Well.
brilliant.
How'd they do what?
That's what they did.
Oh, making people feel very, very still. They freeze framed.
Max
framed.
Redstone is
frame.
here.
Hey,
Wow,
Max.
look. And he also gave me thumbs up jewels. 2 of them. 2 thumbs up. And then clutch with 30 jewels. That's amazing. And he's also become a member. Or renewed his membership. 28 months of membership. Wow, 28 months of membership. That's a lot of
Mm.
months. And good morning to Miss Sparkles. How are you doing this morning? Miss
Hey,
Sparkles?
hey.
Good to see you. But I got to play something. I didn't get any clips of this episode, unfortunately, because there was a lot of good stuff in this one.
Well, that's good
Mhm.
that they at least put the stats back for your members.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Saddle up.
Yeah, but also
Lock and load.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of pissy about it because when Jill got demonetized, I was like, all right, well, then I'll cancel my membership. And so I was
Oh.
back to square one. So all of
Oh,
those
really?
who persevered through the wilderness of
ye
non-monetization.
of little faith.
I didn't have little faith. I just didn't want to. I was like, I don't know. Anyway, it's all YouTube
Well, they don't charge you,
shenanigans.
do they? Like,
I don't
No.
know.
No, if you're demonetized, they pause the memberships and they pause the payments and everything. So
pause
Yeah, but they
it.
still
It's
put
almost
ads
like
on your
they
videos.
just have an idea
No, yeah,
that,
that's
yeah,
true.
this person will probably get their membership back, so we'll just pause it for a few months that we don't have to pay them.
We'll just keep these YouTube channels in our basement with an air conditioner to ensure that they are maintained.
That is what they're doing. It's getting crazy. Yeah, next February, most people are going to be
Oh, yeah.
demonetized out of their away from their
8,000.
shorts.
8,000.
It's complicated. So Snortopoopas says the Mark of Gideon has David Oshu. Oh no, playing the planetary leader.
Oh, okay.
Take me
So
to
there
your
you are.
leader.
Okay. Anyway,
I was
We're
thrown off
meeting-
by the baritone and the Van Dyke, and so I was like,
We're-
"Is that the guy?" No.
we're meeting Albert Hicks, and Martin describes him as a gentleman, and then explains that Hicks murdered the crew of the VA Johnson. He's a gentleman with an axe in 1860.
Mm.
And I looked at that story, and he did it for the money. He's a pirate.
Oh, okay. Well, and
But
this is
Martin says, why did he go mad? What made him change?
And the way that Martin sort of fawns over the wax figures, this is my take, and it's not, maybe it is sort of expressed in the dialogue, but Martin really likes the craftsmanship of the wax figures. And so I think that it is his appreciation of the art. I made fun of Hot Toys, but Hot Toys, they have like really good facial sculpts and likenesses. And it's like, oh, I want to get that because it looks like the actual person. And so I appreciate the artistry. And so I think he appreciates the artistry. And through that, as like a gateway, he came to be expert on the histories of these famous murderers, and it ended up supplanting his appreciation for the craftsmanship into the admiration of the madness of the who they are representing.
Exactly. He saw the humanity in them through the sculptures, and so he imagined this softness in them that might not even actually have been there, or might have been there through whatever history he could read, or he placed it there wherever he wanted it. And
but that's also a bunch of hogwash in my mind when they said, and this is Jack the Ripper, and it's like nobody knows what Jack the Ripper looked like.
That's true too. They just wanted to have a famous one. They just wanted to have one everybody knows.
It was Ian Holm.
Or in this episode's case, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Next are Burke and Hare, with Martin describing how their victims were suffocated in a method called burking. And so
now, I thought that they were grave robbers. I didn't think that they were murderers.
Well, let's find out.
Grave robbers.
I did not look them up.
Yeah, and it is the story. They were paid by a doctor because the doctor needed cadavers. And I thought that Burke and Hare were, again, yeah, I thought that they just dug up the recently deceased for.
Oh, they
for
didn't
payment.
suffocate a lady in her bed?
Again, I could be wrong. I am not, I don't have any wax figures in my basement.
16 murders.
Okay.
And they sold the corpses to Robert Knox for dissection. So you got that part right. For his anatomy lectures. Oh, God. So maybe that's what Robert Knox thought. Robert Knox thought, oh, well, they're just digging up bodies for me. That's not so bad. And he might not have known that they were actually murdering.
There's a movie called Burke and Hare starring Simon Pegg and Andy Serkis. All about this stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, a whole movie. Do we have any clips from the Next Generation Neutral Zone? I love any clips with Sonny Clemens. Oh, I have to get you some, Max. I don't have any Sonny.
I'll write it down because I also love Sonny.
Yeah, especially Yeah, Sunny and Data. I've always wanted a Sunny and Data spin-off episode. It'd be nice. That ain't a bunch of hooey. Then he went mad later on. Benadryl Cumberpatch? Yeah. Well,
Yes.
that's who I think of when I
Benadryl.
see the sculpture of Jack the Ripper. And so then
Did he actually say Benadryl?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did. And there he is.
Now
And
I find this fascinating, and maybe this is just the world of a working actor. But Martin Balsam was in Psycho in 1960, and it was a smash hit. And so it is really interesting to me. Like, it's interesting that he was sort of bouncing back and forth between TV and film throughout his career, and so I was taken aback because I always thought that Martin Balsam was more of a film actor than he was a television actor. And then I go through his IMDb, and it's like, oh no, he did it all. He did anything and everything. And so
nice. Okay, so Drizzy Drate says, I got you tabbed. Oh, thanks for being here from the Rumble
hooray.
side.
Yeah.
Yay. And so we've got okay, so of course, as you were saying, he has a different perception. Like he knows they're monsters, but then he also sees the humanity in them. And he sees them going through a torment of their own rather than just the torment of the one who's being murdered or the murderer's or loved ones or anything. So it's Martin feels a little bit too much sympathy for these murderers.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a matter of the admiration of the craftsmanship, but also if you are going into Murderer's Row, I do think that he has to play a little bit of a creepy curator.
Oh, that's true too.
Because it's and we'll get there when we get there. He seems like a perfectly normal, pleasant guy.
He is. Yeah. It could all be an act that became reality. His real opinion. Like at first he was probably just joking around. Like he was just like making it as scary as possible, making him as creepy.
That might also drive you nuts if that's what you do. It's like you're the curator of just these few statues in this room
like he doesn't
every day, all day.
Like he should have been jumping around doing different exhibits every day instead of just this one.
Cleaning Cleopatra.
But to murder, to take a life with your own hands again and again and not be able to stop yourself. Can you begin to imagine the horror of that?
Well, yeah, I guess that is pretty empathetic. Oh, these poor murderers. Can you imagine the cacophony of evil thoughts?
Yes.
Well, that's because inside, the audience doesn't know it yet, but inside he's wrestling with those things himself. And he's just projecting that on them.
Well, and here's something else he admires. He says, if his torment is great enough and he kills, as these poor creatures did, he meaning somebody else, another murderer, then future generations will know. For he'll be here, immortalized in wax, remembered, as you and I will never be. And so not only does he seem to be sympathizing with them, but now he also seems envious that they're going to leave an imprint on history and that he'll be forgotten. So there's another red flag. Collecting the flags.
Yeah, you're right. I'm clouded by my love of Martin Balsam, so I am so
well. I love him too. No, but he's a great actor. Like he's portraying this really well. I just know this because of retrospect.
Yes. Also, Max Redstone. Good luck at the appointment.
Oh, Max has to go. Max, what are you doing, Max? Sunny and Data, the Hooey boys. Okay, I'm off. I have another appointment with the old dental surgeon. Have a great day,
Oh.
everyone. Oh, I hope everything goes good with the dentist, Max. And you get to watch Star Trek while they work on your
Hey,
teeth or
stop it.
something.
That's my story.
Anybody could watch Star Trek while you get your teeth worked on. There's TV.
Unless it's excruciating pain.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
first season of TNG, and so while the excruciating pain was going on, I was so doped up, and I was like, "No, Lieutenant Yaw, no vaccine." I had a blast. It was so good. I literally made these people watch the worst episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation while I was being tortured.
No vaccine and no Lieutenant Yar!
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this episode has been brought to you by
Well, that's for
1987.
Max. We finally had a video to play for Max.
There you go.
Hello, Tony. Good to see
Hey,
you, Tony.
Tony.
He said, hello, lurking while working, liking and loving.
Hooray.
Yeah, I hope you get done what you're trying to get done. The dental surgeon doesn't have TVs. Oh man, I suppose I should be
Oh.
grateful that I cracked the tooth next to the one where I'm having the implant post put in. Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, next time I go, I'm gonna have them play the Marathon Man and see what happens.
And there's some Tony links for you if you need those.
Yeah.
And okay, so now this is Henry Desiree Landrew. Landrew, he's the garrote on his victims. I think the Vulcans also have a weapon like this. And lamenting so Martin laments the agony that poor Landrew must have felt as he committed all these murders. And that's a tiny skipping rope. It does kind of look like a little jump rope. So he's a French serial killer.
Yes.
Nicknamed the Bluebeard of Gambay. He murdered at least 7 women and at least 3 other women and a young man in the house he rented from. So probably more people than he got in actual trouble for. And so that's him. And one of the guests starts messing with an exhibit, and Martin becomes really protective. Like you see exactly how protective he is of these figures, and he reprimands this young sailor here. Those figures are not to be touched. They're too rare and valuable. Besides, the museum can't be held responsible for what might happen to you.
Young sailor.
I like that part. He's a young sailor. What am I supposed to call him?
Well, and I don't think that this is a representation of insanity, because like my nieces come over, they start jumping on the bed and then they pull my Captain America shield off the wall, and I'm just like, you can't touch that. You don't know how rare and valuable this is.
Do they dress like sailors?
Yes, they wear sailor suits.
Did you hear the part where I said, besides, the museum can't be held responsible for what might happen to you? That sounds like
it's a heavy shield.
I know that. That was an odd line. I remember that standing out. The museum can't be held responsible for what happens to you. It's like, well, what's supposed to happen?
Again, I still think that Martin is a well-rounded human being, so I feel like
I have no problem with the actor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about that.
No, you're right.
But the character's name is Martin, and so when Martin is saying, and the museum can't be held responsible for what happens to you, I kind of got the impression that he was sort of, and again, it's a Twilight Zone episode, so I'm like, oh, does he think that what's going to happen? I've never seen this before.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But I was thinking maybe he was just playing up the murderer's row aspect of his corner of the
No,
museum.
he looked really sincere and concerned at that time. It really, he was kind of creepy about it.
But
he wasn't acting like he was talking to a kid saying, oh, you don't know what might happen to you or anything like that. It was just like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
the museum's not responsible for whatever happens to you.
Yeah. In
What?
case you get
Yeah.
suffocated.
Yeah, because you
Gotcha.
signed the insurance waiver on your way in.
Really?
Oh my stars.
If any scaffolding falls on your head. Anyway,
I think I've only ever done that once going into an attraction. And it
A
was
wax
like
museum?
no, not a wax museum, but like when you sign something and say you're not held responsible, or it was going underwater with like a diving bell on our shoulders. It was like a space helmet kind of thing, and it was like, if you do this and you die, good luck. It's not up to us. And
Yeah.
so, but I've never done it anywhere else, like even amusement
ooh, I want to
parks.
No.
try that. That
Well,
sounds like
you
fun.
would assume
Wait,
there's
was it like
risks
20,000
associated with
leagues
that.
under the sea, Scott?
It was more like 20 feet under the sea, but yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's so cool. I kind of want to do it anyway, even if it's just 20 feet.
Oh, it was great. It was fun. But then
Did you see
recently,
did fishes fly in your face?
well, they don't fly in your face, but they're all around, and you get to see sort of sunken stuff and
That's what I mean.
coral reefs and things. But yeah,
Mhm.
but I did see an episode, or sorry, not an episode, but like a YouTube video recently, and it's like video of when the worst thing can happen, and some woman was in something very similar to that, and the thing just goes over your head and shoulders, and that's it. And then there's an air bubble within it. And then there's a tube that goes from the helmet to the surface. And so I guess she dropped something, or she noticed something. And so she bent over to pick it up. Her helmet fell off, and like she's underwater and she's tied to the neck. Because it's all like, anyway, it was all a horrible thing.
That's
She was
horrifying.
fine. It is
She was
horrifying.
okay?
Yeah, but the
You
thing that,
survived? Oh my
she
God.
survived. But the thing that was the worst part about it is, while I'm watching this, I was remembering how I was on shore before anything happened. And you're like signing stuff being like, if I die, it's my fault. And I was like, lady.
Yeah, if she died, it would have been her. Well,
Yeah, it's just like admitted. Anyway.
Max says when he goes to his regular dentist, he puts on the top of his file, I hate HGTV, because for some reason they always have that freaking channel in the office.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
They say
It's
gardening
just
is very
It's
soothing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have Bob Ross.
Oh, that's a good
The
idea.
joy of
Work-
painting. Just have that on.
Yeah. Everybody loves some happy little trees. Working, but I will get on Rumble in an hour and comment. Oh, thanks, old member. That means a lot.
I think this
I
one's
really
going to
hope-
be a two-parter.
No, it's not going to be a two-parter. I just had to say hi to Old Man Bird. You don't want me to say hi to
I
Old Man
don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so Martin, yeah, okay, Martin tells off the young sailors, so let's get back to this over here. And then finally we get Jack the Ripper. And Jack the Ripper is played by, let's find out who he is. We've got a list of actors here. We can see plainly that he is played by, come on, throw it on the screen. It is David Bond. David.
Not Wayne Alexander.
Mhm. Oh, and Henry Landrew is played by Milton Parsons. Wayne Alexander. No, not Wayne Alexander.
No, that was a Babylon 5 thing.
Oh.
That's for
I
the
don't have to go to work
Babsters
till
out
3:30, so I'll be here for a while. The museum is not responsible if you swim with a net full of fish around a polar bear. You signed a waiver in the Twilight Zone. Yeah, I mean, I got to sign a waiver every time my kids go to the trampoline park. And yeah, that includes death too. So that's, yeah. Living, doing stuff is dangerous. And so you got to decide whether you want to just be afraid and not do anything ever, or have a little fun.
Well, it's just to
Yeah.
protect those people that own the establishment from,
Mhm.
I guess in a lot of cases, people that just do stupid things.
Yes.
But sometimes it might be an indication of, maybe I shouldn't do this at all.
Yeah. So even though, I could understand him I could sort of understand him sympathizing with the other murderers because he knows who they are. He can look up their histories. He can be mesmerized by the artistry that went into creating their sculptures and the humanity that the sculpture artists put in there. But this one doesn't make any sense because, as Scotty was saying earlier, nobody knows what Jack the Ripper looks like. And so, how could Martin describe him as a tortured soul? We didn't really even know him. As we know, he explains that we don't know who he is or what his motives were at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, his
But
name was Sebastian, and he
but that
looked like
but
Wayne Alexander.
they just wanted to have one that everybody knows the name of. So that's what happened here. And he emphasizes these men do look like ordinary human beings and wonder what devils push them to their crime. See, Gavin was right. We need the staff of truth. and then creepily, Serling starts his opening narration, saying how gentle of a man Martin is. Oh wait, I forgot about the button on the floor. Okay, so for the Jack the Ripper has an extra feature. So if you get to the Jack the Ripper part of the tour, he presses the little lever on the ground, and a real knife stabs in in his direction, and he just always knows which way to lean.
You might want to make that a rubber knife just to be safe, folks.
Yeah, why do all of these murderers have real weapons? I don't understand why they all have to be real. And that frightens everybody, and they say, "Let's get out of this creepy place."
Yeah, I can understand. And this creepy curator.
Yes. But that's his job. That's his business.
Yeah, that's all
we
he does. Is this handful of statues here. He's such a specialist. This is all he does.
It's his life for the past 30 years. It's what he's been doing. So Martin Lambert. Oh, then I cannot say this last name.
Martin
Scotty says
Lamborghini.
Yeah, thank you. A gentleman, the dedicated curator of Murderers Row in Ferguson's Wax Museum. He ponders the reason why ordinary men are driven to commit mass murder. What Mr. Sinescu does not know is that the groundwork has already been laid for his own special kind of madness and torment, found only in the Twilight Zone.
Oh.
So after the tour is gone, so we've got Martin tending to Landru, and Ferguson needs to have a word with him. His boss, Ferguson is the boss, the museum owner, and Martin takes the upkeep very seriously. He says, "Oh, I'll talk to you later," but Ferguson says it can't wait. And Martin takes the opportunity to note that all the statues need new clothing. And of course, it says written by Charles Beaumont, really written by John Soule. And so, yeah. So, as we've established, Martin cares for these things very deeply, and he's afraid that there might be a problem with the way he's doing things. But Ferguson says, "No, there's nothing wrong with you. We are abandoning the museum, and they're going to build a supermarket." And so the museum is not making the money it used to make, and he wants to kind of retire. He doesn't want to deal with this business that's starting to fail. And instead of waiting until the business goes completely asunder, he wants to sell it while it still has some value.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this is a smart business decision that Ferguson is making for his own golden years to be able to enjoy the rest of his life and not have to do this work anymore. He's been doing it for 30 years, and it's been a good time, but it's time to end it. But Martin is completely devastated because it has been 30 years and this has been his whole life.
Yeah.
And as we saw, that was a pretty expert tour. If I had a tour like that, I would be definitely impressed by it.
Well, after
Like, wow,
30 years, you should have that down. It's just like a
he
few
did.
figures, you know.
And Martin had given his last tour. That was the last one. And the supermarket's coming to wreck the building next week. And Martin worries about the figures, especially the ones on Murderer's Row, because they were created by this special artist. And I'll get to his name in my notes eventually.
Yeah, it's a
And
French
so
name.
yeah, Martin's like,
Guimont.
okay,
Henri
Okay.
Guimont.
can't we move all this stuff to another museum? And so, but no. Ferguson says the business is not viable anymore. People today don't want to go to wax museums anymore because they're already afraid of other things. They get fear all over the place. They get fear from the news and they get fear from everything else. And so this kind of exhibit is not as thrilling as it used to be.
See, and also, I admire the Twilight Zone because there are somewhat universal and timeless things that happen in the stories. And in this, I was surprised that it wasn't. People don't want to go to wax museums anymore. They can, if they want to get scared, they can go and see the picture shows in the movie theaters, and that's where they'll go and they'll see the crazy murderers or the aliens from space. They don't want to come see the museums; they go there. And I was like, oh, this is kind of
Well,
that's what I was.
What it's about.
That's what I was anticipating, but then it was like, no, the world is scary enough. No one likes anything anymore, and I was like, okay, so that's true too. But
Yeah.
I was expecting like nobody's gonna go to the movie theaters anymore. They got streaming at home. They can just watch whatever they want. And so I was paralleling there, and then it just pivoted to why go get scared because of
Yeah, I don't
murderers.
know. There was just one room dedicated to them. I thought
Yeah.
the rest of the museum had some. Well, I'm the one that started this show saying I'm not sure. I never seen the interest in a wax museum, but
It's to
Well-
present history of certain things, of either pop culture or regular history,
Mhm.
just to, I guess, maybe to bring the past alive a bit in
Well,
a creepy way.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, but also
Or
back in the
as-
day. Sorry.
no, you started first.
But like in wax museums and whatnot, there's usually no flash photography kind of thing, and it's like, oh, okay, I get it, because you don't want to melt the
With
slowly.
the flash.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what
Hey,
happened to the one in Niagara Falls? Maybe too many flashes.
probably, or flashers. It's kind of a yeah.
But you're right.
That
he
would be
doesn't
interesting.
mention-
A flashing wax museum where they're animatronics and they flash you.
But anyway,
It's like,
you're right. He
meh.
doesn't mention movie theaters as what people go to get scared of. He does just say the world is scary, especially mentioning the ovens of Dachau. I mean that
Yeah,
gets really dark.
That was a
Yeah.
little bit. That was a little bit. I don't know. It's like, why are you talking about a real life historical tragedy sort of thing and equating that to wax? I didn't see the logic there.
I didn't either. But that's where they went.
Well,
it's hard for
thanks to
Martin to accept
Auschwitz,
the
our figures are down here at the wax museum. It's like, what?
F you, Hitler! You screwed us out of our wax museums. I think that's the least of our concerns, Mr. Ferguson.
Serial murder can't keep up with genocide.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, it's
That was
hard
Sol
for
trying to undermine Beaumont.
Yes.
it's hard for Martin to accept the truth. Martin says, or maybe we could have the figures exhibited. You remember how the people came when we worked out the Ripper's arm? And so he's just in denial right now that this is happening. It's like, okay, we did that arm years ago. And so now he's concerned, knowing now that the museum's going to be turned into a Piggly Wiggly, as Gavinian says.
A
Martin
Tesco's.
he's afraid of what's going to happen to the murderers. And so he brings Ferguson back to the murderers row to say, hey, look, these were made by the special artist.
Henri Guimont. No, that's
why
it.
Landry?
I somehow remembered it. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Why Landry was an eloquent man. He was full of tenderness. And it's there. It's there.
There's no tenderness.
Right in his
mouth.
right in his mouth. I was trying to
That
get
was
to the
a
mouth.
Weird decision.
It's caught right in his mouth.
Of course, I've had it in the ear before. I've got a lust for life.
There's his face while he's looking at it.
Yeah.
And so this is where he gets a little more manic. Because he's connecting these figures and the lives of the men that they represent. And he's seeing them before they became monsters and how they were human first.
Whoa.
And Martin reminds Ferguson, that they were made by
Henri
Guimont.
Henry Guimont. Try the gray stuff. It's delicious. And Martin then offers to buy the figures himself. Ferguson dismisses the idea, but Martin explains it. This is how strongly he feels about these figures. He says it would be like losing 5 close friends.
Red flag.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yes, another red flag. Matt G is here, and
Hey,
Tim says he will be pushing the shopping carts there. And LDG is here too. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, LDG. I am the curator of the cereal aisle.
Mhm.
You don't want to cross Count Chocula.
So,
I'm
so
going
finally,
to melt your lucky charms.
Yes.
Go on, Jill.
Sorry. Remember how you said stop
She's
going
like,
off
you're
on
reminding me
tangents?
of my kids.
Yeah.
And so he convinces Ferguson to let him store the figures in his basement. He's even going to get a whole air conditioning system. And back then people didn't have air conditioning systems because they were really expensive. And he promises to take care of them as he always has. But and he says, Emma will be fine with it. But she does not seem so completely fine with it, although she is nice about it at first.
Oh, and I found Emma to be one of the more plain hot women in the Twilight Zone, but I was still like, Emma's pretty fine.
Yeah, I think she's lovely. I like her. He can't teach his breakfast. His wife Emma is really not she's like, they'll be here when they're here, but he's worried that they're going to drop the figures or something bad's going to happen. And he jumps as soon as he realizes somebody's outside.
Well, and this is where I sort of picked up more of the appreciation for the artistry than the monstrosity of the subjects. Is he was like, don't you understand? This is Henri Guimont. And it's like, you know how nobody knows who Henri Guimont is? And it's like, yeah, well.
A murderer in the cereal aisle would be a serial killer.
Yeah.
You set that up, Scotty.
You did.
No, I
yes.
didn't. Someone else is smarter than me.
Yes, part of the
artistry.
Part of the artistry is knowing how to take care of these figures, keeping them. He says you have to keep them at 80 degrees exactly, and to keep to
80
store them.
degrees exactly. And we're talking Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
assume so.
I don't know that it
Or
that
you
must
know
be
what?
really hot there that they
No,
needed
you
an
know what?
AC to keep it 80.
Okay, you know what? I was wrong. They can't get hotter than 80 degrees. So
Oh,
80 degrees
okay.
might be too hot.
Okay.
And
Oh, it's
so
just
be
borderline.
destroyed. So maybe
Okay.
they prefer 70 degrees.
Yeah, okay.
And Martin worries about them, and he's very frantic about it. And he fusses with them all the way until they make it to the basement.
Mm-hmm. And he's very
Yeah,
grabby.
that's it. The figures cannot tolerate temperatures above 80 degrees. Okay, that makes sense. And so once the boxes are safe and they're inside, he's like, "Oh, look at all these boxes. It's gonna be like opening presents at Christmas morning."
Ugh.
Mm.
So what'd you get for Christmas? Lots of murderers.
Yeah, these old wax statues that I was curating for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes,
They're
and
not new.
Emma realizes that they got a very expensive air conditioner, and
Yeah.
he won't
And
even
the
tell her how much
electric
it
bill.
costs. Oh, the electric bill, that's coming later. But right now the drama is that she can't do laundry in her own basement anymore. That would outrage me. I'd be like, I'm doing my laundry anyway.
And your
I don't care
clothes
if there's
need
humidity.
cleaning, she told him.
Yeah. Yeah, right. He's been wearing that shirt for a week, I think.
Damn.
I mean, I could be exaggerating, but I think that's what she said.
Yeah. No, I guess it was another indicator that this guy can get distracted from, shall we say, the maintenance of life that we all go through.
Although that doesn't make sense. Because
it doesn't?
he puts on a tour, so wouldn't he have to smell good for the guests?
Not necessarily. Not
Well,
with
not
a freaky
now.
guy like this.
Oh, not now, because he doesn't have a...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's technically
Anyway.
unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like a day ago. I don't know how long it's been since he got fired and he got the creepy statues delivered.
Well, so
few
at the end of the
days.
episode, Mr. Ferguson says, "Thank you for taking care of these guys for 3 months."
Yeah,
And
3 months.
so there is like once they close the shop, I'm assuming that it would be like a week before they're delivered to Martin's house. And then from there, it's probably another month where the wax figures are there and they get their first bill for the air conditioner. And then so and so and such and such.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so-
glad we worked out the
Well,
timeline.
Well, we
here.
know how long
Sorry,
he's
man. I'm
had
trying to
the
figure it
statues.
out.
But we know how long he's had the statues, but not how long it's been since he received them into his
We
house.
gotta know when he last bathed.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to figure out. We cannot know that. Anyway, she's relegated to the laundromat, being locked out of her own basement.
Gee.
And he even says, "Just take the laundry anywhere, but leave me to my friends, please."
And he calls them friends. And did Jack the Ripper have that same look on his face before?
But
Every time he killed, he had the mild smirk on his face. Yes.
yeah, exactly. He wasn't Jack the Ripper. He was John Harrison. A little bit of a Into Darkness.
Oh,
So Jason
reference.
Love is here. TARDIS
Hey, Jay.
materialization. Hail and hello, Scotty, Jill, and Wayfarer Lawrence.
hey.
Hooray!
And so Martin's spending all his time in the basement caring for these figures, as if he were in the museum. So his home and work life have merged, even though he's not really working now. He's just doing everything he did at the museum at home. And he worries about their clothing. Right here, he's demonstrating that there's a tear in Jack the Ripper's coat. And he begins talking about having their clothes cleaned
Mm-hmm.
and pressed or replaced. And
Yeah.
Emma finally says, "We're not buying them any clothes." And then he says, "Oh, but Emma, it's not just buying, it's tailoring. You see, they have bodies that have. I don't care about their bodies." You don't mean that, do you? Yes, I do. Honestly, Martin, you've been paying more attention to these murderers than you ever did to me.
Oh,
And
ever.
so, ever. Yeah, that's a bit extreme. Extreme, yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Well,
I.
no,
It's
she could be right.
Yeah, I'm sure she is right.
well.
When your
Yeah.
wife says something like that, you pay attention.
Well, yeah. Like, and that's. But the thing is that he doesn't lose.
Mhm.
He doesn't lose the tenderness towards his wife. That's like Emma's frustrated, he's frustrated, but he sort of shows up like after one of their arguments and says, "I know you're angry with me and we're working on it. I'm trying to get the investors for the new museum.
Well,
Everything's
he's
going to be fine."
lost. He's lost in his reverie for what he's doing with these
Yeah.
figures. Like he's not trying to be mean to her, but
Well, he kind of
he's
needs her
just
for now.
obsessed.
Yeah.
And so he's just trying to keep her from, going off on him or leaving
Yeah.
him or
Well,
something like that.
and she explains that she's been nice about it and that they were only supposed to be there for a few days, but she doesn't like being locked out of her basement. And like you said, Scott, Martin says he hasn't been able to find anyone who wants to finance his new museum. And then, as you said, Lawrence, the electric bill comes into play here. And so then there it is. There's the electric bill right there.
Yeah.
It's got a lot
Well, she
of
had
details.
warned about it at the beginning. It's like when he brought in the AC, he's like, the first things he said, or one of the first things was that thing.
How much was this?
Yeah, how much was it? And how much is the electric going to be with one of those?
Well, that's the implication, but she didn't talk about the electric bill yet. Emma suggests returning. She's like, why don't you give it back to Ferguson? Oh, see you later, Tim. You got to get ready for work. He doesn't trust. So as much as Martin respects Ferguson, but he doesn't trust him to take care of the figures properly because he's the one who's been taking care of them for 30 years, not Ferguson.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can
So
only
Emma-
imagine like the transposition of, say, I worked in an arcade
Mhm.
and I was the mechanic and the caretaker of pinball machines.
Mhm.
And then it's like, what are you going to do with the pinball machines? I need the pinball machines. You can't just give away the pinball machines. And so I move them into the basement of my house with my wife. And
Mhm.
then I'm downstairs, not only, repairing and maintaining my pinball machines, but I'm going to play with the pinball machines. And
Mhm.
then my wife is going to be like, all I hear day in, day night is ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this was the time you used to do this at work, but you would come home and then we'd do the sexy times and we'd have dinner and it was you and I. It was great.
Yeah.
But now you spend all of your time with those damned pinball machines. And I would be like, oh, but I'm just trying to find a place to put them, baby. It's all good. You know I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of those
and
things
that-
where it wouldn't be
yeah.
totally believable, but this is even worse because
Yeah.
pinball machines have a function to be played.
Right.
Wax figures are just
and they're not so
stand there.
weird and creepy and you don't have to fire up the AC for them and so they
But
they
what
don't
if one of
require.
them was a Twilight Zone pinball machine?
Mhm.
Oh, that would be nice.
It is nice.
And-
I played one.
And you wouldn't be telling her don't do the laundry because the humidity is going to
It's going to
ruin
mess
the
up all the electronics, baby. Come on, Emma. You got to take care of the pinball machine. Anyway,
But you wouldn't say that.
not like that.
You would no, but you just have the pinball machines be on the opposite side of the room as the washing machine. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
I could get into
That's
a
not
whole
good.
hypothetical. Let's not.
Yeah. But that would mean you're obsessed with the pinball machines, and you've got to balance. You've got to learn balance in your life,
Yeah.
Scott, with your hypothetical wife who you are ignoring to play a pinball
Play
machine.
pinball. Yeah. I should learn balance.
And he all right. So Emma complains that they're frightening, and Martin says after you live with them long enough, they're not strangers anymore. You grow to love them. I don't know if he says that exactly. That's what it feels like. and that's too disturbing for her, so she leaves. Oh yeah, he does. When you live with them as long as I have, you come to love them. So he says exactly that.
What a
There's a
beautifully framed shot.
oh, yeah, you got all you
Three.
got this.
3 of them, 2 of them looking to kill him and 1 ready.
Mhm. Okay, so Emma is at her wit's end here. Oh wow, Red Sixer fan rated the stream. That is so nice of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That Red Sixer fan is very, very cool. Check him out on Rumble. Nice chill streams. And well, Mediocre Gamer Girl's here too. I got to hang out with her recently, which was a real treat. Let me find
Nice.
her. She says, "Is it possible though that this is like most Twilight Zones, a sort of cautionary fable, warning against obsession, using something absurd and creepy like wax figures to make the point clear?"
Agreed.
Yeah, you could say so. Absolutely. That's a brilliant summation of that. And
Well, and
yeah, it is
also
extreme. So the pinball machines is a bit more normal kind of similar situation.
Well, and also considering the ghostwriting of the episode, or not ghostwriting, but the collaborative nature of writing the episode, is it obsession and obfuscation as to what's going on as we move deeper into the psychosis or the happenstance. It could be a commentary on Beaumont himself.
Hmm. Uh oh, it's possible.
Like, oh, he's just drunk, so we'll make him, or he's overworked, so we'll make it so that he can go there, and so that and it's like he's trying to hide what's going on with him, and so when he returns, he's worse off.
Wow.
And like
I never
it
thought of that.
don't
I
forget,
never thought
writers,
John might.
they inject
Yeah, and
real world.
all these people, like if he's gonna be writing all these episodes for Beaumont, they were obviously friends. And
Mhm.
hello in the chat. Thank you to and hello and welcome to all the raiders here. Kira D is here. Sly Baz. Great to see you, Walter's dog mom. Oh wow. And Zale. Nice to meet you, Zale. Cool names. Great. Awesome. Good to see you. We're talking about the Twilight Zone today. About a man who was a tour guide, a curator at a museum of wax figures, and he's brought some of these figures home that he loves very much because of the artistry that went into them. They just happen to be murderers. Wax museum statues of representing murderers, and his wife Emma is fed up with having to deal with these figures in her basement, and she's upset because they're out of money. Like the bill isn't just expensive. There's no more money in the bank. They cannot afford to have these figures anymore. And so she's going to her brother for help. And Dave is saying that we got to get Martin away from these figures. And so you got to stop. You got to he offers to go talk to him himself, and she says she rejects that. So he says, "You've got to make an ultimatum. It's either me or the figures." Or he comes up with a different idea. Or guess what? ACs sometimes break down. So he suggests sabotage.
Sabotage.
Oh, right. That's how you say it. Sabotage.
Yes. I like this
Emma,
actor.
yeah,
I don't know who it
I like
is.
him
I don't
too.
think I've seen him ever anywhere else. He
He
reminded
seems
me of
like,
an old-timey version of Martin Mull. He was great.
yeah, he's great. He's like you'd be happy to have a brother like him. He seems like very protective of her and helpful, and he gives her some money to get some groceries so she can eat. So he's a good brother and trying to help her out with this problem. You tell him it's either those stupid dummies or you. And so she does that. She does. She tells him that she wants those figures gone. And she's not going to tolerate him anymore. But also to let Mr. Ferguson have them. It's the logical thing because they belong to him. They're not really his responsibility. And so once they're away from here, you'll be a different man. You'll see. You've been around those wax dummies for too long. You've forgotten how to be a human being. And Martin responds, "No, what kind of friend do you think I am? I can't desert them now, after all these years. They need me. They'd be lost without me." And this is, as you mentioned, this is kind of a nice moment with them actually being honest with each other. But Emma says, "Martin, they're not alive. They don't need anybody." And he ends the conversation and says, "Tell your brother to stay out of my business." And and then he spends all day, talking to his figures, uh, doing that stuff. And so Emma's got to try plan B because plan A didn't work. The ultimatum didn't work. So now she's got to do the sabotage
Sabotage.
while Martin is asleep. Yep. Jason Love is a pinball wizard.
Nice. So yeah, this
Hold on. I got to
is
see what my chatters are at because I
all
got a
right.
whole bunch of chatters.
Sure.
It won't tell me here. I gotta go to my dashboard because I see a lot of new people in the chat. Let's see what you guys got me to. 57. That's great. You guys got me up almost 10. 9 new chatters. Awesome. Today in total.
Mm.
And so Emma gets out of bed and she's considering how to sabotage the AC, like her brother suggested. But she's frightened by the dummies, but determined to destroy them. And we get a close-up of Jack the Ripper.
Benedict
And as Emma
Cumberbatch.
Yes, that's what I said.
No, I know. I'm reiterating your previous observation.
And as Emma goes to unplug the AC, Jack the Ripper uses his knife to end her. So we've seen mannequins come to life, so it's not completely out of the realm of the Twilight Zone for inanimate objects to suddenly come to life and do stuff.
Mm.
Well,
And that's how they frame it.
And it is how they frame it. And also, like, it's kind of Chekhov's foot pedal from they show in the beginning. And I thought that would be something that it's like, why didn't they show her stepping on the little pedal? Because that would have made sense.
Oh, yeah,
and
maybe.
and then and later, well, that's the first one that I'll sort of address. And I was like, oh, okay, so I guess she didn't. So these wax figures are imbued with the spirits of their subject.
Respective.
Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah, I think the
Namesakes.
thing is they didn't want to confuse it more. They didn't want to give you too much of a logical explanation because then it would have been jerkier later to accept the real cause.
Yeah.
That's debatable. We'll get there at the end of the episode. But I do like, the ambiguity of, okay, so if we don't see that she stepped on it, then it may be supernatural, or what is subsequently revealed as being what the general accepted
Yeah,
story.
one solution is supernatural. The other one is this could happen in real life. And
How
The other
many?
one is
Well,
if
when we get to
you
the great reveal, I guess I can ask that question. But
just
in
write it down. Don't
preparation for it, you could think about like what other films before this had similar explanations as the kind of one we get at the end. You know, I mean,
okay.
I'm thinking
Well-
about like films that I saw in more recent decades, like what was it, The Secret Window or whatever, that Johnny Depp thing.
Sure.
You know, and I'm just wondering at this time how many might have been before this.
Well, and the big one that I'm sort of surprised at is that this is essentially like if what we discover at the end is the truth, it's Psycho.
Mm.
It's
Spoilers for a
Mm.
movie from 1960, but it wasn't the mom.
but it feels like it's like Psycho, but the person is completely unaware of what he's doing.
Same with Psycho. Well,
um,
that's not necessarily true based on the last shot
Yeah.
of Psycho.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and,
here the biggest thing is really that he didn't know and he had to come to terms with it, and that's what
Or possibly. Anyway,
ultimately-
I spoiled
yeah,
it
okay.
anyway. But anyway, you were mentioning the shots earlier, and I like this too. This looks really, really scary. And Tony says I'm still only at 15 chatters on Rumble, throwing that an X to doubt, lightning striking twice and all that. Well, it's only the 11th of the month. You've got some time, Tony. You got to stream more on Rumble
Yeah, man.
if you want more. And honey, I'm a pinball wizard. Oh, that's Scotty.
Yeah. Honey, I'm a pinball wizard.
Okay.
So
If
here,
there was a
is this
Twilight
the
Zone episode,
position they were in
yeah.
to begin with, or is it something? Because that's the thing. It almost looks like they were in a different position. They were closer together, and the hands a little bit outstretched.
I think it was set that way because it looked cool on the camera shot.
Yeah.
Because it did.
I guess.
It does take a while because like the amount of times that we see what's going on in the basement, it does take a while for me as the audience, like, and I'm specifically referring to my observations. I did not understand the geography of the basement because
Yeah.
everything was obscured with crates
Mhm.
and I didn't know where everybody was. And so it was something that I didn't really pick up on until the last,
Well,
I guess,
the
15 minutes.
position they were just in
Mhm.
and her relative to her body, now where he is, he must have moved them
Maybe to get
there
to her. Yeah,
and
that's
to
possible.
not see it. That's the whole thing, because that's what an audience is thinking right now. Or did the statues move?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Did the statues move? Because he was clearly not in the room at all. He genuinely seems to not know what happened to her until he discovers her body bleeding and finds Jack the Ripper's knife covered in blood.
Yeah.
And so he realized he believes that Jack the Ripper did this, but instead of getting mad at Jack, like instead of like panicking or calling the police or figuring something out, he says, this knife, don't you know you're always supposed to clean the murder weapon? And he cleans it
Jack,
for Jack.
What are we gonna do now?
How did you not get caught?
This is why I can't take you places.
This is some rookie bullshit.
Mhm.
But like, and that's, I don't know. That's why
They can't have good things.
I guess that's why we can't have nice things. But it is a situation where I'm watching it and it's like he's upset. And then he's like, so what do we do now? Well, obviously, we buried the body in the basement. Duh. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's a solution. Bury the body in the basement. Actually, yeah, he says, "I know I should report this to the police, but no one will believe me. So,
Which
you
doesn't
know,
make
this
a
is the
lick of
only choice."
sense. Which doesn't make a lick of sense. If he were in of sound-minded body, which obviously we're going to figure out whether or not he is and debate, but there was a foot pedal that made it swing and stab, and if she didn't know about it, then it would have swung and stabbed her. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, hey, guess what happened? My wife stepped on that thing. It swung because we had set it up to be an animatronic for this museum that I used to work at. It stabbed her. And then everybody's like, okay, so I guess we dust for prints on the knife. Oh, well, there are none. And everybody's none the wiser. Everyone's fine. Everyone's happy. Except for
Yeah,
Emma.
except for Emma. Poor Emma.
Poor
Well,
Emma. But the
She
thing
should have
is
run
that
away.
it's easily explainable unless I guess this is the last nail in the coffin, which is the first nail. Is
Oh.
you guilty, son?
No,
Yeah,
no. Well,
yeah. You
here's
cover
the
the
thing.
body with cement in the basement. You're done.
That's
Yeah.
still not, even with the pedal, that's still, it's like, okay, so you have this wax sculpture that moves with a real knife in its hand and an active foot pedal right next to it in the garage so someone could inadvertently stab themselves.
Yeah, but like what charge? Like what are you charging Martin with?
Well, it would still be fishy. It'd be like, did you set that as a trap or,
I suppose.
because most people don't leave that hooked up
Yeah.
or use
Yeah,
a
this-
real knife.
He'd have to undergo a lie detector there, even though those are phony bullshit, but they would do that.
Yeah, and that brother would be like all over the cops, like, are you gonna let him get away with this?
Mhm.
Yeah, but also
And-
that's a very
Hmm.
long way to go to kill your wife. So how did you kill her? Well, my boss closed down his museum. I brought these structures and they were in my basement and I set it up beside like in some kind of Wile E. Coyote trap so that if she tried to tamper with the air conditioner, this thing would be a deterrent. Like it just...
No, well, all that stuff was before the whole thing. The only time he had a motive to kill her was just recent. So all he has to do is move that foot pedal thing
But
right
I don't
there.
think the episode remembered the foot pedal thing because we didn't see it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
okay,
highlighted.
but I'm just talking about the hypothetical Scotty scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hypothetical that he created. Yeah. Okay, hello to Small Drummer Gal in the chat and Mediocre Gamer Girl is correct saying, in the end, no matter who done it, 'twas the obsession that killed the lady. Yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
The life of the wife was ended by...
Yeah, now he doesn't even have the excuse of the foot pedal, so it's just like, yeah, obviously,
Well, he killed that here.
yeah, obviously he's the one that would get
Here's the gas
blamed.
man. The
Yes.
gas man has arrived. The gas man, he has a
The
key to your
gas
house. He just
man.
barges right in whenever he wants.
How you doing, Mr. Gas Man?
See, and I think it would have been more believable as being sort of overtaken by the influence of a room full of serial killers. Gasman had to die. Like he should have died.
And Gas
Well,
Man
he didn't die
has
because he was so
no
overwhelmingly
ass.
positive. Because he was like, "Whoa, this is cool! Look at these crazy statues. You must be. This will be wonderful for Halloween time." And he was like, "Wow, this blood looks real. This is a really high attention to detail." And so I think it was because he was just gushing over everything he saw and being really nice and positive that he didn't get killed.
I still think it would have been, and I guess it would have messed up the structure of the episode within the hour, but it would have been good if it would be like, oh, can you have to sign this work order? And it's like, oh, okay. I left my pen in the truck. Can you? Oh, I have a pencil upstairs. And so Martin goes upstairs, and then Johnny Gas Checker or whatever he does, he goes over and he checks out Burke and Hare, and then he's like, "Oh, this is cool." And then it looks like they fall over with like the pillow in hand, and then they smother him by accident, or at least accident.
Oh, I get it, Scott. You wanted to see all the murderers
But
killed.
later they have to make that something that could happen by the actual, way it ends up happening by the end. So it's like, does that mean that this guy Martin chose a pillow to take out a gas man?
Well, but also that's come on, yeah, like
Yeah,
it's the
he tried
garrote.
working. He did the rest.
He did the rest. Used everybody
Well, I mean,
else's
but with a
murder
pillow?
weapons. Sure. Well, he goes upstairs and he's looking for his pencil, and he looks underneath a couch cushion, and he grabs the pencil, and he comes downstairs, and it's like, oh no! And it's like, well, he did handle the pillow, so you could do it. I think you could do it. Why am I always rewriting episodes? It's because the original writer had dementia.
Oh, no,
Could
this
see
episode
that
is very
in
well
dark
written.
alleys in Canada. There are
Yeah.
fights where people that have pillow fights.
Just pillow fights that end deadly. All right.
So,
Stupid.
so he's he's upset at his figures. He says, "Now, will you please behave yourself?"
Mm.
So that'll work
Yep.
because he thinks Jack the Ripper killed his wife, and Dave comes over to ask about his wife Emma. So
What a pose.
yeah.
Vogue.
Well, he thinks he's going to have to talk Martin into getting rid of the figures, but Martin's like, "Oh, I already did that. Everything's cool. Everything's great. Emma's just at my sister's place." But Dave already thinks something's weird because the whole house is locked up, and this is 1960 where nobody keeps any locks on their house locked.
Yeah.
And
Or
and,
the basement.
yeah. And so he tells him Emma's gone to her sister's, but then hint, the sister doesn't exist. So
Well, he's also thinking maybe the sister carried out her plan of melting.
all of this whole thing would have worked except for one thing. It's sound.
Scooby-Doo?
The sound. No, the oh yeah. And my plan would have worked too if not for the meddling air conditioning system making a humming noise. And that humming
Well, it would have
noise,
worked for maybe a day or two. I mean, eventually the brother's going to be like, "Where's my sister?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, where is she?
Well, I
But he
gotta
got
get out of
suspicious
here
anyway,
and start
he
a museum in
hears
Mexico.
he hears the AC, but anyway, Martin yells at him to leave. He's like, "Open the door. I need to see." He doesn't believe him now about the sister. I've never even heard about this sister. What are you talking about?
You have a twin sister?
But anyway, he acts like he's gonna leave, but he's still suspicious. So being a protective big brother, he goes into his Hardy Boy mode and opens the window here, and opens the door from the outside like that. Pretty clever. And then he's taking a look at all these creepy figures that have been causing his sister so much trouble. And they seem to look back. And Dave is examining something on the floor.
Well, the
right underneath this axe.
freshly paved grave.
Yeah, it's still the cement is still wet in his fingers. And then Albert with his axe seems to kill him. Oh yeah, no, that was a good.
So here's my biggest problem with the entire episode, Jill. Because we had to cover up the scream so that Martin didn't necessarily hear it, and so it is with the kettle. Oh no! Wait, it's later. It's later.
No, the kettle is later. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the kettle's later. And then Martin says, Hicks, how could you? Like he's like scolding him, like, oh, you naughty, naughty statue, you. Why do you keep killing people like that? We do not kill. I mean, I think
Bad
that's the main
murderer.
thing.
Bad
Yeah,
murderer.
exactly. No, but that's what it feels like. Like
Oh, yeah, totally it does.
he's not horrified. He's not like, and, but that's coming. It comes in the next one.
Yes.
And so now we've got a second grave in the basement floor. And
For
Ferguson has come to
Dave.
visit.
Yes.
Yeah, Ferguson's come to visit because he's got some great news. Another museum wants to buy the figures. And so now the figures will have a proper home and Martin won't have to mortgage his house in order to keep the air conditioning going.
I
They'd
think he
have
already
to
has.
ship them over to Belgium, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be at the cost of the museum. It's not going to be
Yeah.
like we have to send it there. They've requested and purchased, and with a tidy commission for Martin.
This Henri Guillemot must be really important.
That's right. Ferguson is going to be paid, but also he's going to share some of that payment with Martin because Martin's done such a great job taking care of the figures. So, Ferguson's a really nice boss and has been Martin's friend, probably best friend. Yeah, I think he does say best friend.
Only human friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, aside from his dead wife.
Maybe. Aside from, Emma. You have a remarkable wife, Martin. There aren't many women who would put up with an exhibit like this in their basement. And Martin says she never complains.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She
I think
never
that
complains.
it's at this
That's some macabre
dissonance.
humor.
Yeah, it's at this dissonance that I'm like questioning.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to final analysis at the end.
Yeah.
Hey, Herc. Hey,
Herc
Phantom
130.
Outsider.
Phantom Outsider,
Hey.
Fanty and Herc. Hooray. Hello. Hello, panel. Hello, chat. Great to see you. My Mock for Life channel right there. Check it out. Well, those statues are just like Mike Douglas in The Man with Two Brains. They always like to kill.
Nice.
Well, there you go. There you go. Lawrence, you wanted something similar to this episode. The Man
Okay.
with Two Brains.
Man with Two Brains. Wasn't there a Steve Martin film by that name?
That's the only one that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was different. That was like a woman who he fell in love with, and then he found out what the real thing would be if she got a body back.
Kathleen Turner, right?
Mm.
Honestly, I've never seen it, unfortunately.
But Martin isn't exactly excited about having the statues sold. He says, I like taking care of them. And but Ferguson puts his foot down, this is happening, it's been done. But Martin also says there is something wrong because Ferguson notices there's something, he's acting a little strange. She's like, you're sleeping down here? And he's also Martin's also behaving erratically. Look at this, and don't you remember? And all these things. And so Martin says some strange things have been happening. They haven't exactly been behaving themselves.
What?
You have no idea what they've been up to. Oh, Martin, you've been so close to these figures these past 3 months. You're beginning to imagine things about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is you won't have to take care of them any longer. It's all settled, and there will be a substantial reward to you for all the years you've cared for them. Now, why don't you prepare us a cup of tea or something while I take some measurements? And so he's got his little tape measure, and he's measuring stuff while Martin makes some tea. And Ferguson is very happily measuring. That's where he's noticing there's something wrong.
Well, he doesn't notice anything's wrong. He just
Yeah, he does. Because he realizes that Martin's been sleeping here and
Well,
that
yeah.
he's excitable. And so he asks, and Martin it says that the figures have been misbehaving.
Mm.
So anyway, there he is with the tape measure as I wanted. And then we've got Landrew. He gets killed by Landrew.
Mm.
Landrew the Strangler uses his cord. What's it called? There's like a
garrote.
special name. Garrote. A garrote. And meanwhile, Martin's making tea. And as he said, instead of a scream, we get the whistle of
Right.
the tea. The tea.
Of the
tea
kettle.
replaces the kettle. Yeah.
So here's my problem.
Exactly. Mhm.
So he goes, and there are 2 teacups and a teapot. There is a tea bag in each of the teacups.
Mm.
Why do you need the teapot if you're just going to pour the hot water in the tea bags in the teacup?
Because America?
What are you
There's
talking about?
wait a minute. There's two cups each with bags in it, and
Yes.
you're saying that like
Put
what about
the water in the teapot.
Yeah.
Why do you have a teapot?
Maybe he put some in the teapot too, and we just missed that part.
Well, wait a minute.
Or, oh, you know what it is? I figured it out. Okay.
What are you
this right
saying
here-
that he basically had tea bags in the pot
No.
and in the cups?
No, what
Okay,
I'm saying is that there was no reason to have a teapot if he was pouring the hot water into the
It's
teapot.
not a teapot.
What is it?
This is the kettle. These
Yeah.
are the teacups. This is the creamer, and on the other side is the sugar.
Oh. Okay, you fixed it.
I really don't know what the problem was in the first place. Yeah, you need the teapot to heat up the water to pour them in the cups.
No,
No,
but
he wasn't
so
talking about the kettle.
the kettle heats the water. The
Mhm.
tea bags go into the teapot. You put the hot water into the teapot where the tea will steep. And as
Mhm.
you take it downstairs, then you pour the tea from the teapot into the teacups. You do not put the hot water in the teacups if you have a teapot.
Yeah, you'd put it in the teapot. The teapot would have the bags, and then you distribute it straight from the teapot.
Oh,
But
okay.
we don't have a
I guess
teapot.
that's the
It's
whole
a-
thing.
it-
Is I didn't know there's a kettle and then a pot.
But no,
They're
there is no
separate
pot.
things.
It's actually
sugar bowl.
It's a sugar bowl with a little lid on
Okay.
it.
Damn.
But Scotty thought it was a teapot,
I was
Oh,
upset.
and
no.
that bothered him. Yeah.
Short and stout.
Yes.
Be our guest, be our guest. Put our service to the test.
See, he came up again. Amazing. Phantom Outsider says that was the Steve Martin movie. The Man with Two Brains.
Yeah.
And at the end, there's a European elevator killer who turns out to be Mike Douglas, who admits he always liked to kill, but then he got famous.
Like 60
Wow.
minutes, Mike Douglas?
I don't know. That's what Phantom Outsider said.
Oh, okay. Americans
case you
make
want to
tea in the
refill.
microwave. Heavens, jeez, no.
Americans make tea in the
No,
microwave. Well, I mean,
we
if it's
have a
just
different
heat
thing.
up
We
the
have
water.
we have, I guess you'd call it a pot, although I don't know. It's a kettle pot combo with tea strainer in it.
Yes, there is no teapot on the tray. Yes, that's what we figured out. Scotty had to know. Lawrence
did.
only learned to make Yorkshire pudding a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but we knew how to make tea. We have one of those things with the tea strainer in it. Put in the loose tea, and then you put the water in and you boil it, and it basically grabs those little leaf particles and makes them into tea juice, and then you pour it straight out of that.
I like
Tea
tea juice.
juice.
Well, anyway,
What-
speaking of this entire setup, it's all going to come crashing down and be destroyed forever anyway.
Yes.
Because he notices his best friend lying on the ground, dead, and of course the entire tea set is destroyed.
Yes.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so since Emma was right that Martin loved his figures more than her, and it is of note that the one that he has the strongest reaction to is his boss, who was his friend. So
That is a
that's
big
okay.
steering wheel.
And what happened to the jump rope?
Yeah, when he was measuring him, he said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were so wide."
Do you know how wide he
Um,
was?
35
No, they
inches.
didn't say.
or
37 inches.
something. Oh,
Oh, did you zoom in?
No, he says it. He's like,
Oh,
oh,
he said it.
37
Okay,
inches. I didn't know you were so wide. Nope.
I forgot.
Yeah. Sorry.
You always remember 37.
It's my magic number. It's the one that I always notice.
37.
Well,
In a
and
row?
where is his garret? It's
around his
around.
neck.
It's around his
Mr.
neck.
Ferguson's
Yeah,
neck.
that's what I was gonna say.
And you do see Landrew move.
Hmm. You do. And
So-
Martin believes the wax murderers are responsible, and this is the final nail in the coffin for Martin.
Yeah.
He's now turning against his friends because his friend killed his friend. So you know, his only human friend, as Lawrence says.
Mhm.
So it's almost like Martin was like, okay, my wife, I can handle my wife, my brother-in-law, fine, but you killed Mr. Ferguson. That's too much. You went too far this time. And
He's the one that owned the museum in the first place.
yeah, he's the reason why he has his murderer
Obsession.
friends. Yes. So he has his whole, how do you get a good Twilight Zone will have a speech like this where he gets fired up against the wax figures and he says, he even gets after Burke because I know you didn't do it, but you didn't stop it either. And he gets after Landrew and Jack, and I gave you all the best years I had. You wanted for nothing. I washed you. I cleaned your clothes. I bought you new ones.
I let you be the big spoon.
It was always the right temperature for you because I made it so for you. And who defended you against the thousands who saw you? And so, yeah, he rants at this.
And
You
this
murdered Mr. Ferguson. Yep.
Yeah. And this is where I was just like, oh yeah, this is like a night gallery, is because there is, I think it's in the first with Roddy McDowell, and it's got like there's a painting and it shows a guy coming out of a tomb who comes back to avenge, and every time he looks at it, there's a lightning crash and the figure of the person that he thought he killed coming back to kill him, and it's like it changes and it's supernatural. And so I was like, oh yeah, okay, so this is just the supernatural figures being possessed and coming back, and they're the ones who did all the murder. But like the only problem with that theory, or at least that desire for Mr. Sinescu to be innocent, is because of Martin Balsam. And I'm just like, come on, Mr. Balsam.
Yeah.
Don't be the bad
And
guy.
he's saying, that they're all monsters.
Yeah.
And but now they're coming to attack him, and they're moving towards him, telling him, and they're speaking to him. Now he's hearing voices.
You did it.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're
well-
accusing him of the murder, saying
Now-
that it wasn't us. I didn't murder anybody. It was you, Martin.
So was he hallucinating this,
I guess.
or were they
Most
actually
likely.
moving?
Which is, I think that's up to interpretation, because
That's
we
the
did.
thing. Maybe this may be a hot topic, Hot Wheels, hot toy take, but maybe they framed him.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, that is one of the theories. is that either he's crazy and he just is under the delusion that they killed just to make him feel moral that he didn't kill anybody. And so he just imagines that they killed them, or they really did kill everybody and are are getting him in
Because
trouble.
yeah, because they're definitely moving and stuff now. It's like
hmm
unless it's
And
a hallucination.
it's possible that they're giving him his wish at the beginning to be remembered.
Mm.
And yeah, so
Remember
Martin,
this.
yeah, Martin loves talking about these serial killers, and this unhealthy obsession really did culminate into the loss of his family and his friend. And here's the
But
new museum.
yes, Marchand,
hmm
not to be confused with Guibo.
And so, yeah, yeah. I think that the episode largely leans towards the idea that Martin is guilty, but he's just that's how he's seen in history.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's his wax figure.
I don't know. I think.
Or he's
No, I
just
guess it
standing very
works.
still.
Well, no, that's exactly what it is. But like the thing is, and I just to put it back to the beginning of the episode in our conversation, they didn't really get his hair right.
Hmm? It is.
He's
Well,
got
then that's
more hair in the wax figure than he does in the rest of the
okay.
episode.
And then in that case, Scott, then it's they did a good job with making him look like a wax figure if he looks a little bit
Yeah, because
different
they
from
always
his
look a
true
little bit
self.
off.
Yeah, oh, totally,
Mhm.
totally. I'm not saying it as a negative. I'm just saying, in terms of wax figures, they never really get the hair right. Like
Mhm.
Jack the Ripper's eyebrows, they were too bushy.
Oh, you knew Jack the Ripper?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He
briefly,
was Piglet
yeah.
and John Fielder.
Red Jack, Red Jack, Red Jack.
And
met
so
him
this
in
is
one of his
yeah,
time
so of course,
travels.
if you're just joining us, Martin himself is the new exhibit of the Murderer's Row.
The
So-
new exhibit.
So, but then he would have had to have been discovered
Mhm.
if he was murdered by who killed him?
Well, Liza
be
said
himself.
last night that he had a heart attack.
Oh,
Like at
okay.
that moment when the wax sculptures, or he was hallucinating the wax sculptures coming after him, and then he couldn't face the truth, so he had a heart attack. But yeah, the episode doesn't make it clear, so we all
No, it
have to
doesn't.
speculate.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's good. That makes a great Twilight Zone episode when it's mysterious, when you don't
Mm.
know precisely whether it was a more realistic occurrence where he was just crazy or whether or not these wax figures really did come to life and destroy, and whether or not it's going to happen again.
Or they made him into wax figures like zombies make their victims into zombies.
All right. So I've got a reading for you, Scott. We've got our closing narration.
Alrighty, Root. The new exhibit became very popular at Marchand's, but of all the figures, none was ever regarded with more dread than that of Martin Lombard Sinescu. It was something about the eyes, people said. It's the look that one often gets after taking a quick walk through the Twilight Zone.
The
Dun, dun, dun,
eyes
dun.
follow you.
Yeah, very good, very good. Thank you, Scott.
Cheers.
And I do like this episode for beginning in the museum and ending in the museum. It was good.
Yeah.
A good bookend kind of thing. And so
Nope.
we've also got
I
well,
liked
we
it. This is one of
Mhm.
those episodes where we've been talking throughout the fourth season, and it's like padding. Then the last half hour of the episode is the actual episode. And this one I really appreciated as a 1 hour drama, like a mystery, supernatural. I thought this pulled it off through the full hour.
Me too. I agree completely. This didn't feel like padding whatsoever. This was a complete story where they weren't like, okay, that was our Twilight Zone episode. What do we do for the rest of the 30 minutes that we have?
Yeah.
Let's yeah,
Or at
so
least
I
that's how
agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Well, very well done in that turn. And so yeah, John Soule, great author. And I want to say thank you to Glowy Account for showing up. Hello, Glowy Account. And also Enterprise Software Architect. Hail Jill from Rumble. It's Twilight time. Wait a minute. Twilight Zone time. Well,
It's the
thank you.
Twizzy
And of course,
time.
just so you guys know, Enterprise Software Architect is Old Man Bird.
Really?
On Rumble. And hello to 30-foot Smurf. He's lurking. Thanks for lurking. Appreciate you. We don't, yeah. So as Phantom Outsider is completely right. We don't know if he died. He could have been found and put in the loony bin. That's true too. Absolutely.
Well, they usually don't make wax sculptures of you unless you
If
die.
you're still alive. Oh, that's a good point.
Unless did they make like what was his name? Manson. Did they make Charles Manson wax sculptures before he died?
I don't know. I'm not a
Oh no, I guess
wax
they
sculpture
do because
aficionado.
I think because as soon as I thought of him, I thought of Geraldo Rivera because he did an interview with him, and I think I've seen Geraldo Rivera's statues, and he's still alive.
Oh wow.
Or did I imagine it? Maybe it was a dream.
Well, you're gonna have to get back to us on that one.
I'm
Take
sure
care,
you're
every
waiting
human.
with bated breath.
Yes, I will. I will await your report. Phantom Outsider says yes, they did. Oh, confirmation right there from Fanty to you, Lawrence. You are not hallucinating.
There we go. Yeah, I guess it's just got to be a famous personage. I'm sure there's wax Patrick Stewart's walking around out there.
Yeah, and like I said, I saw wax Captain Kirk, and yeah, William
okay.
Shatner's completely alive.
I've
So,
seen
yeah.
Picard season 3. Patrick Stewart is made of wax.
Oh my goodness. You didn't even have to finish that joke. I love it. Thank you.
No, that is after all an android,
Oh, that's true.
He's a
Golem.
replicant, yeah. I think
Oh,
this episode is
replicant.
one of the few good episodes this season. Agreed. I like this one a lot.
That's what they'll do in season 4. They'll
I
have
liked miniature too, but this one's up there. This one's stellar Halloween episode.
That's what they'll do in season 4 of Picard. They'll get Harrison Ford to come back and do a little blade running on Captain Picard.
That would be funny.
Stop.
I was just anyway. I don't want to get into it.
Phantom Outsider says the wax museums sometimes do a famous person of the minute. I think Paris Hilton has one, and yeah, and also, what's his name? Cedric Diggory. He was at the Madame Trousseau.
Who, Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson, yeah, but he wasn't there as Cedric. I was like, why aren't you Cedric Diggory in your Hufflepuff uniform? He was there as Edward.
Right. But on the plus side, they can reuse that figure and make it a Batman.
Yeah, they probably could. That would be better.
Yeah, I guess it only took a little bit to think about it and say, wait a minute, they make wax sculptures of everybody.
Yeah, there's
you
your
don't
answer.
have to be dead.
And Tony wants us to know that he's putting up his Radio 616, broadcasting 24/7, starting right after Jill, perhaps a bit before. And so
24/7. But we're starting right after Jill.
So was his followers. Well, I do like to raid people who are live, so I am
Yeah,
gonna.
nope.
I do need to choose who.
Just the
Jill
dead body.
only raids people who have wax sculptures of
That's right.
Yeah, if you
themselves.
didn't get a wax sculpture made of you, just you're just not somebody enough for me. I don't know.
Okay,
Doesn't
calm
make
down.
sense.
It
Anyway,
wasn't worth it.
let's see. I gotta
Mhm.
see who to raid. That's part of the stream I'm at. Oh, but also,
Well, and
there's one more thing.
yes.
Preview for next week's story. Next on the Twilight Zone, a
Oh.
trip back into time with Albert Salmi, John Anderson, and guest star Julie Newmar. But this trip is an offbeat, very adventuresome, and totally unexpected itinerary. It's called Of Late, I Think of Cliffordville.
It's a good one.
Uh,
We
yeah,
did
and you
watch
got-
it last night. We did too, and so we
You
saw it.
you saw Catwoman last night, then.
Catwoman.
Yeah, Julie Newmar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. No, we just saw this episode, and it was good. It's a good one.
I'm looking forward to it, although the downside of it is going to be, remember last week when we had I Dream of Jeannie and all I could talk about was Bedazzled?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
next week, Julie Newmar looks like she's going to be playing the devil, so all I'm going to be talking about is Bedazzled.
Mm.
Well, man, you're really obsessed with Bedazzled. Whatever. am I
It's a
going to
really
say?
good movie.
Sorry.
Bedazzled.
Talk show Tony is retired, but the radio will be there. Well, but it's not there now, is what I'm saying.
Well,
You're
and
not
speaking of
live
radio,
now.
everyone should go and check out iHeartRadio and tune in.
And I didn't ask
to
for talk show Tony.
WKRB.
You need to
WKRP.
quit being so defensive, please, dude.
Let's start one called WKRB.
Yeah. It's
There we
WKR, bitches. Shut up, Herb. Yes, Mr.
Let's see.
Carlson.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's I don't see anything live. I'm trying to get it up. Oh, crazy.
Crazy.
Hold on, honey.
How long do you think it'll take, Tony? I could stay on for a few minutes.
I'm sure the fluffers are working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around the clock.
I feel like I almost found it and then I lost it. Oh wait, you did put a link in the
Man, there's so much double entendre in these statements.
It's not even me
Yeah.
this
time. Hold on. What's going on?
Well, while you're checking that
one
out,
viewer waiting?
don't forget to check us out. Jill and I, we're going to be over on Canadian Spider-Man's on Thursday night, where we're going to be talking about Canadian Spider-Man's adventure to Vulcan, Alberta.
Oh, I hope
Vulcan,
he's going
Alberta.
there. Yeah, I think he will be going. I don't know. He was sending me some messages last night that he might go somewhere else. Like, what did he say?
Oh no, it's next week. He's talking about Hungary.
Hungry. Oh, okay, that's next week. Okay.
Is that what's called Vulcan, Alberta?
No, Vulcan,
Oh, wait.
Alberta is an actual place.
Oh,
Mhm.
it Vulcan, comma, Alberta,
Yes, that
comma,
yes,
Canada.
yes.
All right.
So Jill and I are going to be with Canadian Spider-Man for that on Thursday.
Vulcan.
So that's fun.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
never
is fun.
subscribed to Canadian Spider-Man, so I just did.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Oh, wow, really? That's
Yeah,
such a
I don't
great
know.
channel.
It must have been oversight or one of those things where YouTube pruned me off. Because I've had subscribers that were pruned off of my channel, and it's like they were paying attention enough to notice.
Oh, and Meg on Rumble is here too. Hey, hello.
Hello.
Who says, welcome, Red Sixer fans. The blue pill, Tony. I read that before I thought about what I was reading. So
I said that
there.
before I thought about it. that's
Welcome
Yeah.
to my
that's
world.
happened to me.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So I know who I'm gonna. Tony really wants a raid, but I need him to be live.
Get it up. Come on, man.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Tony to go live,
Could I
Scotty,
ask?
could you tell us? Oh wait, what?
No. I'll save it till after the stream. Go ahead.
Okay. Scotty, could you tell us what you want to promote, what you want to talk about, and what's going on this week for you?
First things first is that Canadian Spider-Man, Vulcan, Alberta. Friday, we're going to be talking about Space Battleship Yamato, the 2010 film. As always, I think Cinema Gulp had just finished up the House of the Dragon our season finale over there. And they always, if you're passionate about that show, they are as well. This Thursday on the Phantasmagorium is going to be Kat and Ernesto talking about the Batman. They have been talking about the literary adventures. And aside from that, is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Don't forget to go see Coyote versus Acme in theaters.
When does it come out?
August 17th.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, now we got to go back to the theater. That's great. And get Wayfarer's link. And Tony says he should be live. So we'll move over there in just a second.
He's got it up. So we better hurry.
Right. Right. Doesn't last forever. Okay.
It's up so everyone can come.
Yes. So subscribe to the Wayfarer Project and let me know what you're up to.
Yeah, and I guess double check that you didn't get pruned off if you were already subscribed. Oh, so what are we doing? Well, yeah, yesterday we didn't do the Tolkien stream because there was unexpected emergency in Anna in her life, but it's fine now, and we'll be back next Monday. But Wednesday, we're doing King Arthur 2004, or as I like to call it, the King Arthur movie with Keira Knightley. And we're doing Sunday, Babylon 5, Season 3 continues. And I'm trying to remember exactly what episode it is. It's the second one, but it's exciting. No worries. We're really starting to get heated up in the Shadow War thing. And let's see. Yeah, that's basically what's on the horizon.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm almost ready. I was looking
But yeah,
on,
Jill is going to be there Monday, so that's something to look forward to.
Right. Oh yeah, that'll be good. Definitely.
Yeah, the Silmarillion, we're doing, what is it, of Melian and Thingol. And then, of course, since that's such a short
Basically
chapter.
more elf stuff.
More elf stuff.
More elf.
That's a short one, so we have another one that's coupled with it. That's like Eldamar and the Princes of Eldoi or something like that. There's 500 names for everybody. It's tough.
Tony's not quite live yet. I thought he was live. Relay error. Tony, what are you doing?
He's hurriedly typing in the metadata. But yeah, that's one thing I was going to ask, Jill. So now it looks like I'm going to be like pushing Rumble a bit more too.
Oh yeah, really?
What is this Rumble wallet thing?
It's like a Bitcoin wallet that people can donate to. They can donate regular money to it, and it's Bitcoins for some reason. I don't know. I've never donated that way. Nobody's ever given me any of their Bitcoin.
Yeah,
or whatever coin.
I don't know. Is it software you download or is it just a web wallet?
It's just an app on your phone, and you just connect it to your Rumble account, and then people can donate.
Because I'm trying to do apps that don't have Google Play services.
Aw.
So we'll see. I'll have to research it, but
You know what? Tony? I think I can do both. I can send people over there and but also I can raid. I think I can raid 2 people at the same time. Like I can. Let's see.
what?
Oh yeah, I think you can like raid 100 times on Rumble. You can't. You. I don't know.
How does
why.
it know where to put the people?
I don't know. People choose which one they want to click.
Oh, okay. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't done baked linguine in a while. So I'll give you one guy who's live, and then you also have the link to Tony, who will be live later. He will. He'll bring it up. He'll get it up eventually.
That baked linguine is already up.
Yeah, baked linguine is already up. And then we can raid. So you can head over there, or you can head over. Let's see. Then let's also grab. Where is he? Hold on just a minute. Oh, he's learning Japanese. That's what he's doing.
I think I'm learning Japanese.
I really think so.
Oh, you have to wait 10 minutes between raids. So, Tony, you got it. I gotta go.
There we go. Hey, Eclectic Goat. Hey, good to see you.
Hey, go right at the close.
Yeah, wonderful to see you, Eclectic Goat. How are you today? Oh, yeah, you are live. Yay! Radio 616 is live, and Phantom Outsider made it. Look at that. Everything works. And where's the Eclectic Goat? There.
Raid everyone.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
everyone?
Just my luck. It was a Twilight Zone episode, and we're not really sure how it ended. So it was a mystery.
It ended in Belgium.
Well, we
Yeah.
do know that you
It did
can
end
get a
in
wax
Belgium.
sculpture made of you, even if you're alive.
Yes.
Yes.
You just got to know the right people.
So we'll see you next time on the Twilight Zone when we talk about of late. I think of Cliffordville. Oh, wait, there's one more new person. Brogue is also here at the end.
Hey, Brogue.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Goodbye, everyone.
Brogue.
And so let's go to my closing videos, and I'll see you guys next time
in the Twilight Zone.
Thank you to everyone who subscribes, listens, leaves comments, and joins me in the chat. I also want to give an extra special thank you to all of my channel members and Patreon supporters. Every month, we have exclusive membership streams on YouTube, and I'm coming up with new content to upload to my Patreon too. Every level of support, from simply watching and engaging in the chat to becoming a member, helps me grow this channel in so many ways so that I can keep exploring stories that we love. Thank you for being a part of it.
Learn all that is learnable.
So I hope you learned something today.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
I enjoy hearing what you have to say, so leave me a comment.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
So let's continue creating conversations and ideas.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Share out the stream to bring more here. Bye for now. See you next time.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
See you around the galaxy.
I'll see you in the future.
Oh!